October, which was an amazing place. I thought Hanoi, in the capital of Vietnam, was a really interesting, buzzing city with narrow streets and incredible architecture and just a real life to it. Nepal, the mountains, obviously, I loved, but it really depends on when, especially when you're traveling on your own. I think other backpackers would agree. It really depends on who you meet and what activities you get up to there that makes the place for you. So it's so random that it's in. If you meet a group of people and it's just clicks, you all click together and you all want to do the same things, you all hire motorbikes and go exploring. That's what you always remember from a place.
Is it difficult to connect with people and then have to say goodbye?
Yeah, I've wrote articles about this in the magazine, but that's one of the things that I found hard when I was traveling. You have sort of in between periods where you've met a great group of people, you all get on really well, and then everyone goes off for separate ways. And it's so transient, the nature of travel. You're hello, goodbye, and it's difficult because you find yourself on your own again and you think, oh, I'm never going to meet people like that again. I'm never going to make friends like that. But then the next day you do. You sat on a bus and you meet people. And it's just, I think that's it's a great thing about it because it's like your millions of holidays and millions of lives sort of crammed into one time, and you meet people and you make friends with them so quickly and you learn so much about them in a week. You feel like you've known them forever, and then they move on. And I mean, you keep in touch, and I've kept in touch with travel friends, but I think you just need to embrace the transience of travel, because that's
yeah,
a thing.
It's difficult. We travel all over the world as well, and when we bump into people, you make incredible, amazing friends, and you try and do the best you can to, connect with them. Let's say on Facebook, and you do for a minute, but life goes on.
Yeah.
And you're in one country, they're in another, and it's tough to continue the relationship.
I think at the beginning when you first start traveling, it's, oh, let's stay friends on Facebook and your best intentions, and you're like collecting Facebook friends, and you're like, whoa. But I think once you've been traveling sort of 6 months, a year more, it's just it's someone who made your travel experience brilliant at the time, and they've got that and you've got that. And if you do meet again, it would be fantastic. But there's so many interesting people and so many experiences people have when they're traveling. It's a shame to stick with sort of a group all the way around, because you end up not talking to people then.
So which country was your least favorite, and why was it your least favorite? Or which place was your least favorite?
Oh, that's really difficult. I wouldn't say there's a specific place that's my least favorite. Maybe sort of times. I remember once in Phnom Penh, in the capital of Cambodia, I was staying in a really awful hostel, and there was a pet rat I had outside my room that kept jumping in and out of the bin. Every time I walked out, I just hated it. I could hear it scuttling, and I just couldn't sleep, and it was just awful. But so that was a bad time. But it was Phnom Penh's a big sort of dirty city. Mm-hmm. But it's a really interesting place. I wouldn't stick around there I wouldn't like to live there for months and months, but it's an amazing place. The people are lovely and friendly, but I would say maybe that the time there was difficult. I was traveling on my own for a while, and it was kind of when I was thinking about the idea of the magazine. So I had my mind on something else as well. And then it was, I'd say that was the most difficult.
So what was it really like versus what you thought it would be like? In other words, when you were back in Manchester, you had a vision when this sort of popped in your head about what this experience would be like, both the positive parts, the fears, the apprehensions, etc.
Yeah.
But my experience tells me when you actually live something, it's sometimes different than you thought it would be. And a lot of times the fears are not nearly what you thought the fears would be, and et cetera. So what was the difference between what you thought it was going to be like and what it was actually like?
Yeah. I would say definitely my fears were a lot greater before I left. I thought that traveling on my own, it'd be a lot harder to meet people. I'd be on my own a lot more. I thought that it would be a lot less, Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. I thought it'd be a lot less westernized than it is, a lot less home comforts. you pack when you first pack your backpack, you pack everything for, jungle exploration. It's all your mosquito spray and your travel wash, and you make sure everything's there. And when you get here, you realize that you can buy everything. And if you lost your whole rucksack, you'd be completely fine. You can get everything here. But it's just the fear before you go of, oh my God, I'm leaving England. It's going to be completely, wild. But it's a different story. And you've always, pretty much any situation that happens to you, there's always people to help. There's always English speaking people that you can go to, or you can find a lot friendlier people. I think that people help you here so much more than they even would in Manchester at home. I feel a lot safer here than I did in Manchester.
So what do you think about when you get on a train, or you pass an airport and you see, the girl coming off the plane, train, automobile with high heels and 17 pieces of luggage? When you see that girl, what do you...
saw one of those today, actually. It was a girl coming from, I've just been in Koh Tao, which is the island close to Koh Phangan. And I've got my little bag, and she had a bright pink, huge suitcase that they were like, the Thai people were trying to get off the top of the tuk-tuk, and it was quite funny. But
yeah, it's hysterical, right?
We call those flash packers.
Flash pack. Is that as in flashy?
Just they don't like to sort of compromise on the home comforts. They like to bring all the mascara with them and things like that.
That's so funny.
That's flash packing. They like to stay in a bit nicer hostels and stuff.
Yeah,
which I do sometimes. I can see that you need a bit of luxury every now and again, but you need to earn your backpacker stripes first and go to some dirty hostels.
So now you're out of the hostel world, and did you get an apartment, or where are you living, and what kind of setup do you have?
I backpacked for 6 months properly traveling, and then I was living in Bangkok in an apartment with a housemate for a while, for about a year, and then I'm now living in Koh Phangan, which is an island down the south of Thailand. And it's very different. It's so if you could, my view now, it's like all the beach, and it's a really beautiful island. It's countryside, lots of beaches. There's quite westernized, so there's restaurants and things like that. But it's a bit more laid back. Well, a lot more laid back than Bangkok.
Mm-hmm. Is Bangkok just over the top parties?
Not all the time. It
can be.
Parties, yeah. There's a great expat community in Bangkok, so there's always someone arriving, someone leaving, someone's birthday, some party going on. It can be hard to. There's lots of networking events and things like that, so it can be hard to say, nope, I've got to do work tonight, I'm staying in, because there's always temptations. But it's a great city. It's a really vibrant, buzzing city with lots going on. I enjoyed my time.
Tell us about the full moon party. Everybody has on their bucket list to attend a full moon party. What is it?
It's funny you should say bucket list, actually, because have you heard of buckets in Thailand?
No.
Oh, right, okay. So buckets are what everybody drinks at the full moon party. It's like
it's
funny.
A
bucket full of like Coke and Coca-Cola, like whiskey and lots of alcohol and ice and things that people drink here. So it's funny you should say bucket list.
Have you heard the term bucket list?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just it's every month here in Koh Phangan. And it's kind of what the island is famous for, but it's just one tiny part of the island, really, because it's in a place called Hadrin, mm-hmm. which is southwest of the island. It's just a tiny little village, and it's on every month, and it's just a huge big rave party on the beach with up to like 30,000 people, I think it gets in the high season. So it's a serious party. I've only been once. I live here now, and I don't even hear about it. The only thing that happens here is the beach the next day is completely empty, and I have it all to myself because everyone's hungover. So that's the only thing I hear of it now. But there's the full moon, there's the half moon party, there's the black moon, there's Shiva moon, there's so many moon parties now.
Okay, so let me make sure that I get this right. So you've got 30,000 people that come down to the beach in a rave type setup. And for those of you that are old like me and have no idea what a rave is, a rave is, imagine 20-somethings with glow sticks in their hands, listening
Yeah.
to what I'll call techno music with a
Yeah.
high beats per minute kind of thing going.
Yeah.
Usually involves ecstasy and some other kind of drugs that are keeping people just pumping all night long. Did I get that close?
Kind of. I mean, it's not as underground as people think it is. So there is a DJ playing The Killers and cheesy music and things. So it's like if you can do it however you want. There is a rave side of it where people have glow paint all over their bodies, and it's like they go till 6 o'clock in the morning. But if you just want to go with friends and have a couple of beers, you can do that as well. It's really it's overhyped a lot, the full moon party, and people say, "Oh my god, the full moon party!" But it's just a big party on the beach, and if you're in the good mood for a party, it's brilliant. If you're not, I wouldn't go.
Interesting. Okay, that really helps. I've always wondered what that was like.
Yeah.
So we'll go from full moon parties to your parents. tell,
Right.
tell
Oh
me.
my god,
Tell,
they've never been.
no, I know. Tell me about your parents. You have one parent that's living in Thailand. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, my dad actually, he came here first. I didn't follow him here. I was just traveling. I went to Nepal, and then my dad's been living in Thailand for a couple of years. He's retired here. He came on to Thailand on a golfing trip,
Hmm.
and then just loved it, fell in love with it, and wanted to stay. He lives couple of hours away from Bangkok, like sort of near the coast. And it's just amazing golf courses and great restaurants and stuff. So I came to stay with him